Welcome to this first video on the VMD Spenser or dispenser. The Spenser is a handy tool that dispenses items into Second Life. It can also deliver items to you anywhere on the sim, which can come in very handy at times. I have the script relay loader crystal resed out here. I also have a Spenser resed out, and we'll talk about each of those. This video just covers the basic setup for your Spenser. I have a couple of sorters here that we're going to use, but the first item to do is to load the chat relay into the sorters, and that's easy to do. This crystal, as I said, it comes with your Spenser. You can see we have Spenser Relay Loader 2.0 here in the folder, and there's also the Spenser. So you just res out that crystal, you click it, it'll say waiting on sorter. So you go to the sorter, admin, and load, and then the crystal will load the chat relay script into that sorter. I already have one in this other sorter, so we don't need to do that one, and the crystal disappears on its own. If it doesn't disappear, you're welcome to delete it because you have it is copy, and so you're going to have others in your inventory, as you can see here. The actual Spenser I have one resed out already. I'm going to res out another one just to show you what happens here when we res one out. There we go. When you first res one, you get this little pop-up menu that asks you to select a mode. What mode is this Spenser going to be in? And it lists all the different modes: DFS, TFF rather, GNS, and so forth. I'm going to select DFS for this particular Spenser. If you fail to select the mode at first, let's say you get distracted or computer crashes, whatever the case may be, then it will always ask you when you click on it. This first one that I already had resed out, I did not select a mode for it. So as soon as I do a left click on it, I get that same menu asking me to select a mode. So I'm going to put DFS for that one. Now, I'm actually using two Spensers and two sorters. This might be unique. You might only want one Spenser. In other words, you might have all of your food items in one sorter, and everything you would ever want a Spenser to deliver in that one sorter. If that's the case, you really don't have to do anything else. You are done with your initial setup. Now, we'll talk about a few other buttons here in a few minutes, so stay tuned with this video. But in my situation, I actually have two different sorters. Now, these are both DFS, but you might have one sorter that's DFS, you might have another sorter that's potted, and you want Spensers for both of those items, both of those systems, in other words. So you would set one up with one mode and the other Spenser up with yet another mode. And you can tell the Spenser what sorter to look in by the use of code words. Again, if you're just using one sorter per system, then you don't need to worry about this. But if you have multiple sorters per system and you're going to use multiple Spensers, then yes, you do need to set up a code word. And that's what we're going to do right now. So I want one of these Spensers looking in this food sorter, and I want the other Spenser looking in the spirits sorter. So I'm going to do a long click on the Spenser. That's a left click and hold it for a few seconds. Then when I release it, I get this menu here. I can go to admin, and I have code word, which is the name of the sorter. I'm going to assign this one to the food sorter. So when I click code word, I'll type in food, just like that. And now you can see the code word is set for food. The mode is DFS. Auto res is on. We'll talk about auto res in a minute. I'm going to click done. This other Spenser, I'm going to do a long click on it, and I'm going to assign it to my spirits sorter. So again, long click brings up this menu. Go to admin, go to code word and spirits. Now, upper and lower case is not important, but spelling is. So if your sorter is spirits with an S on the end, make sure the code word is spirits with S on the end. If I just put in spirit with a T as the code word, then it would not work. The Spenser would not be able to find a sorter with that name. Okay, so double check your spelling, make sure everything is okay. Click done. So now I've assigned one of these to the food sorter. I've assigned the other one to the spirit sorter. Now it's time to tell Spenser what object you want it to res. In other words, you're going to assign the item. So if I do just a normal left click, not a long left click, but a normal left click, my food Spenser looks in the food sorter and lists all the items that are in it. And it shows a steak and potato, and it shows tomato basket. I can't eat a tomato basket, so I'm just going to select steak and potatoes. And it reses one out. Auto res is turned on, so it reses it immediately. I'm just going to take it into my inventory, and that's what this Spenser is going to do. Every time it's left clicked, either by the owner or by an admin. If it's set in private mode, owner and admin can use it. If it's set in group mode, then any group member can use it. If they just do a normal left click, it's going to res out the assigned item automatically. Again, I'll take that back into my inventory for now. Now I need to assign this other Spenser that's linked to the spirit sorter with what spirits I want it to res. So again, normal left click, it lists all the items that are in this spirit sorter. I'm going to assign it to Scotch, which is 0, and it automatically reses the Scotch. Now if you look close, that Scotch bottle is not resed on top of the Spenser. It's actually kind of down inside a little bit. If your item reses in an orientation that you don't like, it could be too low, could be too high, upside down, sideways, turned a different way, whatever, there is a way to create an orientation note card to fix that so that Spenser will res it exactly as you want it every time. And that's covered in another video. It's also covered in the Spenser manual that's available on the VMD website. I'm just going to go ahead and pick this bottle up right now. I really don't need to drink it. Now, both of those resed immediately, as you saw. That's because auto res is on. There is an option to turn that off. I'm going to do a long click on this one and then release to bring up the menu. And under admin, there's this auto button. So by clicking that, it toggles auto off. And so you can see now up here that auto is off. So what happens now if someone does a left click, it brings up this little menu and it says, do you want to res another item? If I click res, it's going to res that out. If I click done, then it's not. Just as easy as that. You can also change what you want the Spenser to res. So this one, as we said earlier, is linked to this Stoney's Scotch. Let's say I want to change that to res the White Lightning. So again, I'll do a long click to bring up the menu, and there's an assign button. If I click assign, it goes back to listing everything that's in this spirit sorter, and I can change it to White Lightning. And there it reses the White Lightning. And I'm going to go ahead and take that. Now, notice I'm out of White Lightning. Don't have any more left. So if I click the Spenser to res one, it's going to tell me the assigned item is out of stock. Do you want to assign a new item? If I click assign, it gives me the option to pick a different item. Okay, I'm going to go back in and do that by clicking assign. And now it only lists the Scotch because it sees that I don't have any more White Lightning, and so it's listing whatever is available in this particular sorter. Okay, I'm going to click done for now. I'm not going to actually make that assignment change because I want to talk about a few more things. Now, I only have a few items in each of these sorters. Some people might have 60, 70, 100 crates in a sorter. If that's the case, there is this search button. The items that you see, like when you click assign or when you're looking for a food item, are limited to 54 items. So the Spenser menu is only going to show the first 54 items that it can see, and that's limited that way to prevent other problems. So if you want to link something to your Spenser and it's not part of that first 54, then you can click on search, and you would just type in a part of the name that you want it to find and click submit, and it would actually find that item, and then you can assign that item to your Spenser. So remember that. A lot of times people say, hey, it's not finding the item I want to res. Well, that's because it's not in the first 54. A couple of other options that I want to point out on this long click menu. There is a hover text option. If you click that, it turns on hover text, showing what that Spenser is set to res. So I can see this one is set for steak and potato. If you don't like the hover text, again, you can just click that button again and it will turn that hover text back off. There is a show and hide option. This actually hides the Spenser, so I'm going to click that, and as you can see, this Spenser disappeared. It's still there. You can see my mouse cursor turning to a little hand if I get on it just right, or if I do a Control-Alt-T, you can see this rectangular piece here, so that the Spenser is still there. It's just hidden. This is handy if you want to set up like a dinner table for your family. You might want to put a Spenser over each of the dinner plates to simulate your family coming to dinner. Each person would then click their dinner plate, which is actually clicking a hidden Spenser, and it would res the item that they're going to eat for dinner. These are mod, so you can click and you can edit. You can move them around. You can change their size if you want, bigger, smaller, different things like that. So they are mod. If you mess one up, never fear. You always have more in your inventory. Spenser is copy, so you're not going to kill him off. So that's about all the things we want to cover on this introductory video. There are a couple of other videos in this system, in this series. I actually talked about the orientation note card briefly. There is a video talking about how to create that and how to use that. There's another video on using the sniper function of Spenser, and that's in the admin menu. You can see the sniper button. We talk about that in the other video, and that makes Spenser deliver any item or the item that it's assigned to directly to you anywhere on the sim. So you're out working on your farm, your EP's getting low, you can use your VMD HUD. It's right here. Click this snipe button, and Spenser will deliver the assigned item to you anywhere on the sim. That's covered in another video. But as I said, that's it for this video. So thank you so much for watching and using VMD products.